Greetings, Malifaux fans. This is Crazy Carl back with round 3 of Pat Simpkins, aka Haggis McMutton's MaliCHOW event, playing Shared Treasure Hunt against Chris, aka Twisted Metal on the forums, playing Leviticus. And again, I was playing McMourning because I had to, because it was Shared Master. Chris brought along a very deadly crew, and I tried to match him. He brought Kaladi, 4 Marionettes, a Cannon Remains, and Izamu. I brought a Cannon Remains, Izamu, so we had dueling Izamus, Nurse, Sue, and a Zombie Chihuahua. So this round was pretty intense. I think we were both playing for the win because we were both 1-1 at that point. Or no, Chris was 2-0, I was 1-1. So we were playing. I needed to get high victory points. I needed to get a high differential to get the first place, and Chris just needed to win. So I needed to blow him out to be able to get first place. You can see the deployment. For his part, Chris took Holdout and Kill Protege on Izamu, whereas I took Assassinate on Kaladi, which is very similar scheme. And then Holdout. I guess mine might have been a little bit more difficult because there's all those marionettes to get through, but I was up for a challenge. So the neat thing about Shared Treasure Hunt in this new Gaining Grounds document is that points don't get scored until turn 2. So despite the fact that Chris could grab the treasure on turn 1 with Kaladi, it doesn't really behoove him to do so because he'd have to get his marionettes out of place and mess up his puppet show shenanigans, and I'd just be able to go up and kill him. So very cool. I really like how the new Gaining Grounds events work. I really enjoyed both the shared beatdown and the shared land grab I played before. It really changes how you play the game. I like it a lot, and I think it actually leads to closer games overall because we were really back and forth a lot. It's a little bit of a spoiler. I think I only had the treasure for 1 turn. I think Chris had it for 2 or 3, but one of those turns Izamu was engaging him, so it didn't really do anything. But anyway, to the game. So I moved up my crew, and I made a bit of a mistake with Sue. For some reason, I just took a pot shot at his Izamu. I don't know why. I meant to toss up Circle of Flames because that meant that the marionettes could not safely get to Sue. That said, they could have gotten to him the next turn, but ended up not being an issue. Izamu ended up taking a shot of Unnatural Wasting from Leviticus. I accidentally marked down 6 wounds taken off, but Chris reminded me very graciously that it was only 4 wounds taken off because of Object 2. It takes 6 wounds because it's half plus 1 and then minus 2 from Object, which is really good. It actually means that Izamu cannot be killed at range by Leviticus. Leviticus had to get up and levy punch him, which I thought was pretty cool. The Nurse, for her part, reactivated Sue, and not much else happened. Izamu was moved up the board to kind of, I guess, act as a bodyguard for Leviticus. Leviticus, you can see here behind one of the towers after he popped out and did some damage to me. I was planning on using, I'm not sure exactly what I was hoping for Izamu to do. I didn't want Izamu holding the treasure because Izamu is at 3-inch melee range, so he could just incidentally have something engaged with him and not be able to get credit for the treasure. I really wanted to have McMourning holding it, and so that was really my main goal. If not McMourning, maybe the Nurse, but she's kind of squishy, so that's probably not the best plan. So the next turn, a lot of stuff ended up dying. We actually had a really neat initiative flip where Chris flipped, I think, a Black Joker, and this is the turn where I had Sue surrounded by all those marionettes, which you can see Sue is no longer on the board because he was taken out in very short order. But Chris ended up losing initiative. I had like a 3, and one of the bonuses we could get for donating food was a token that gave us +2 to initiative flip. So Chris used that and reflipped and hit like a 6 or he hit like a 9 or 10. So he wanted to use that just to get the initiative, but he ended up not getting it. And on his tie, he ended up tying me with his flip and then ended up winning the reflip, and I couldn't beat him with my own token, which I had. So really cool, really neat mechanic, and I really like how Pat did that. I'll actually do a video preceding all these that'll explain all the different bonuses you can get with just some random photos to occupy in the meantime. So here you can see Leviticus moved up. One of the marionettes grabbed the treasure after doing some damage and then moved away. I think a defensive stance to get away from Izamu. I'm not sure exactly how that worked out. I don't remember. But I do remember that I lost Sue, and that made me really sad. So with that being the case, I actually charged McMourning up to just get some attacks on Izamu. I was planning on using him to get my manifest requirements. As it was, I rancid transplanted him, and then on my Scalpel Magic trigger, I hit the Red Joker on my damage, so I did like 9 when he was at like 3. So he just exploded, which is great for me. And then I did a healing flip on my Izamu and healed him for 4 because Izamu had taken a bunch of wounds from marionettes. So Izamu was sitting at about 4 or 5 wounds, which I felt pretty good about because I had, he's got a higher defense than the marionettes, and if I can get like a couple really high masks, I can get some ripostes off and cheat in some severes and do some really good damage. So I was hoping to do that. The marionette, for Chris's part, his marionettes ended up getting a little split apart because he was trying to move the guy with the treasure away, and at the same time deal with my stuff with the rest of them. It was interesting. The marionettes are not the best models for carrying the treasure because unless you can get Kaladi away successfully, they can't pull strings because then they're going to drop the treasure, and they're a lot slower. And so basically, you end up down a marionette if you do that, which is not what Kaladi wants. Kaladi wants all 4 of his marionettes to be able to do the damage he needs to do. So, as it were, my Zamu ended up dying to the marionettes. Despite I had a couple good masks. I ended up getting one riposte off, but I think I only tied him or something. Or no, because marionettes have hard to wound for some reason. They obviously need hard to wound. So the dual total was such that I didn't have a straight flip and I couldn't cheat into severe to get an extra healing flip. So Izamu ended up going down. So he was able to get his kill protege off fairly easily. For my part, I was still working on the assassinate on Kaladi. I ended up manifesting McMourning. I wasn't able to summon anything, which I didn't really need to, so it was fine. I did actually summon a flesh construct early in the game. It's just not in the photos because it died the same turn because Leviticus just moved up and blew it away. Very, very rude of him if you ask me. But I did have my holdout was pretty safe because Chris was on his side of the board trying to keep the treasure alive. So I manifested. I ended up manifesting McMourning after charging at Kaladi because I out-activated Chris a little bit. So I was able to charge Kaladi, do a little bit of damage, and then summon Simulacrum 29, get a flurry off, and just pulp Kaladi. There's nothing you could do about it. So that ended up getting me my assassinate, which was great. For his part, he ended up having the treasure for one more turn. One of the turns it was engaged with, the marionette was engaged with the Zamu, so it didn't stay alive. But I was able to get McMourning out there, kill off the last marionette, grab the treasure for a turn, and then just stay alive, which ended up netting me 1 point for treasure hunt, 2 points for assassinate, and then 2 points for my holdout. Whereas Chris was only able to get 2 points for his holdout and 2 points for his 2 points for his kill protege and 2 points for his treasure hunt. So it ended up being a really close game. It ended up being 5-4. Meant I didn't get the blowout I needed, so I ended up in second place for the event. But it was a great game, great event. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.